So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day everybody and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm wrapped at you with me for another day of tips and tricks and ideas that are going to be able to help you to be able to maybe change your mindset, to lose the weight and keep the weight off for the rest of your life this time. That's what this is all about. So hopefully you'll be able to get some ideas out of today's podcast that'll help you in your life. Now, as always, my podcast is always sponsored by Ditching the Diet, which is my business that's going to help you to be able to lose all the weight that you want and keep it off. And if you want a bit more than just the tips that you get on these podcast episodes, then please head to ditchingthediet.com where you can get access to my new ebook, as well as there's programs and coaching and everything that you need to be able to get to where you want to be and make real massive difference and massive change with the support that you need to do that. Now, today, I have a confession to make. I think I'm younger than what I really am. See, I turned 43 just the other day, and I like to think that I'm younger than 43. I don't have too much grey hair. For those that are watching on YouTube, people accuse me of using for just for men. That's not true. I don't do that, but I like to think I'm younger than what I am. And last Friday, I realized that I'm a little bit older than what I thought I was, because I was jumping on the trampoline with my kids. So my two younger kids, I was on the tramp with them and I was jumping and we were doing some backflips, and that's what you do. I've always done that on the tramp. And so as we were busting out these backflips, I'm just thinking I'm never getting old. This is the greatest thing on earth. And then I sort of missed time to jump, and I saw my son move at one point and I thought I was going to do the backflip on that jump, and then I got to the next jump. Anyway, it's all a bit of a mess, but I ended up jumping straight up in the air and stopping upside down. And I realized at that moment that I was in real trouble, and I came down on my head and crushed through my neck, and my chest got hammered, and I was not in a good way, fair to say. So I'm laying on this tramp and I was winded, and so I was doing these ones. My poor young Olivia was crying. She thought I was dying, and my son was over the top of me. He's like, "Dad, you okay? You okay? Do you want me to call an ambulance? Do you want me to call an ambulance?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay." It was pathetic. And so I laid there, barely could move, and then ended up being, let's just say, extremely sore in my neck. And I've still got issues with my chest. It's very, very sore in my sternum area. So that's an experience. But the reason I tell you that story is because when I was laying there, my first thought was this. My first thought was, you got to get up. You got to get up right now and do it again. Otherwise, you'll lose your nerve and it'll be all over. You'll just be an old bloke. That was genuinely my first thought. I was like, how do I get back up right now when I can't breathe and I can't move and I'm hurting? How do I get back up and go again and just quickly flip and then go inside? Otherwise, I'm going to lose my nerve and I'm never going to do it again. So I couldn't. I was much too sore, and I went inside and felt sorry for myself for the evening. But very sore, and I'm getting better now slowly. But I want you to think about your journey on weight loss. Sometimes we stuff up. I stuffed up. I jumped, I missed time I jump, I didn't flip fast enough, whatever it was. I landed on my head and I was in all sorts of pain and trouble and whatever else. Have you ever had it when you're on a weight loss journey where you're going really well? It might be for a day, it might be for a week, it might be for a month, it might be for 2 months. And then all of a sudden you have a moment where you break and you just eat crap, and you go, and then maybe the recovery doesn't happen either. I remember one guy that I was working with on the program, Dave. He was a ripper. Over the course of 9 weeks, this guy lost 17 kilos, over 17 kilos in 9 weeks. And on the journey though, I was at week 6 or 7, somewhere around there, he called me up and he said, "I got to confess something." I said, "You go ahead, man." He goes, I broke last night. I ate a whole pizza, the whole damn thing, Baron. I ate the whole thing. And we spoke about the calories that were associated with that consumption, but the thing that was impressive for me is that he got up the next day and he walked again. He got up and he went again. And I think sometimes we can find ourselves in situations where we stuff up and then we throw the baby out with the bathwater. Have you ever done that? You know, when you're on a program or a plan and you stuff up once and you go, oh, bugger this crap, it's too hard. I'm not doing it. Like, no, I was never going to work anyway. And we get in our head. We get in our own head of like, oh, it's never going to work. Where what we needed to do was just get back on the horse. Get up and go again straight away. Because when we do that, then we can win. I want you to know all the people that I've helped, right? There's thousands of people, but all of those people all stuffed up. Whether it's someone like Jeremy, who I'm just going to have on next week, by the way. He's going to do a little video with me because Jeremy lost 50 kilos in 27 weeks, which is insane. But he stuffed up on the journey and he had some crap food occasionally, so what? But he got back on the horse every time. Every time he stuffed up, he was back on. Stuff up, get back on. We can't stuff up all the time, but when we do, what's our mindset after we stuff up? Remember, I always talk about when you make the decision to lose weight, it can't be a decision to get on a diet and lose weight, because that's a short-term idea. The idea that I'm going to change my eating for a few weeks and then I'm going to eat what I ate before. That doesn't work. It's always got to be, I'm going to change the way I eat forever. And that means shifting everything that we do. So if we're eating 80% of the time crap and 20% of the time good, it needs to be eating 80% of the time good and 20% of the time crap. So you're still going to have those moments where you eat crap. And if you let them only be moments, then you can still lose weight on that journey. But it's the consistency that's going to get you there, and getting back on the horse is what I want you to really think about. So every time you stuff up and start eating garbage food, I want you to think, how quickly can I get back on the horse? All right, I shouldn't have probably eaten that. I'm trying to get to a certain weight by a certain date. How quickly can I get back on the horse and go again? Now, I'm not sure if you're happy to know or not, but I'm happy that just the other day I jumped back on the trampoline. Even though I was sore, I jumped back on the trampoline and I busted out 2 backflips, and I was like, I can still do it. I'm not that old just yet. It'll come, but I'm going to keep it, hold it off as long as humanly possible. So if you've fallen off the wagon, if you're trying to lose weight right now and you've fallen off the wagon, you know what? So what? Get back on and do it again. It's the consistency that's the key. It's the consistency that's going to make you win. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater just because you have a bad day. Think in your head, I don't want to lose my nerve. Let's jump again. Let's backflip again. Let's get back on the path, and that'll ensure you get to where you want to be. So that's the message for today. Short and sweet message today. But just because you stuff up, it's not the end of the journey. The best exercise program is the one that you do, and the best eating program is the one that you stick at. That's the story. Just stick at it. Even if you stuff up, get up and go again. Make sure you hit subscribe, jump onto my website, get hold of my book. I'd love to help you on the journey. See you on the next podcast.